Hey everybody, welcome back to Aquarius Rising Africa. I hope you're all having a wonderful day. But just before my interview with Christian, I want to just make an important announcement here because today, being the 12th of August 2025, marks the anniversary, the 42nd year anniversary of, shall we call it, the Camp Hero demise, the final day, or Montauk Project's final day, the day when Camp Hero, shall we call it, fell silent. And our guest, Christian Laterreur, codenamed Duncan Cameron, was right at the heart of the events, and he's recently started telling us his story on Aquarius Rising Africa. So, to mark this beautiful, auspicious occasion, um, fun and games. Anyway, we're having a good laugh here recording this because it's hilarious how many obstacles one can encounter within a 2-minute recording. Anyway, to get back to what I was saying, so to mark this amazing auspicious occasion, Aquarius Rising Africa and Christian Laterreur, we are giving away 12 copies of his book. So Aquarius Rising is sponsoring 6 and Christian is sponsoring the other 6. So it's first come, first serve. What you do is just send me your email address, please. Send me an email address and just let me know that you would love to be a recipient of the anniversary copy of Christian Laterreur's book, and I will certainly make sure that you get to it. First come, first serve. And of course, great other news for those of you who'd like to get the book as well. Christian has offered it to Aquarius Rising viewers at 20% off. So click the link on the website. It'll take you to his website, It'll take you to his website. You can purchase a copy and use the code ARA, A-R-A, and get yourself a copy of Christian's amazing book called Terror at Montauk. Thank you guys and enjoy the interview. Well, hello everybody. Welcome back to Aquarius Rising Africa with me, Chantelle, your hostess with the mostess, definitely, Christian Laterreur. I think I'm learning how to say your name correctly, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Does it sound better?
Sounds good. Yeah.
Welcome back to part 2 of our amazing interview with you. Well, just to reintroduce you for those who haven't caught your first interview, and if you haven't, I want to really invite you to do so because it's amazing. Chris is a survivor from the Montauk Project, um, MK Ultra, whole lot of other stuff that obviously goes along with that. And he's going to be sharing with us today, a very important day actually. 12th of August 1983 is the day that Camp Hero pretty much blew up. And as far as I know, it hasn't restarted again under that name, but I do believe probably the same tests and things have been going on along the way with other sort of mind control projects and things that
Verification.
these
Yeah.
guys are doing. So, wow, Chris, 42 years ago. Wow.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
does that feel? 12th of August 1983. And here
Yeah.
we are, 12th of August 2025. How does that feel to take you 42 years from
Uh,
that
yeah.
day?
Yeah. Kind of like I look at this, it's like a shock every day. Like that I think about this because like it's a lot to realize, and when you get your memory erased, it's like you're realizing everything each day because like it's kind of there, it's missing. You have those memories back, but they're not like kind of in the line or like. it's weird, like
Yeah.
the way. So like it's like realizing all this, and yeah, like wow, like I was so lucky, like to make it out of there, like and like what happened, like yeah, that place was like hell, like yeah,
No,
like
I
vibes
actually,
there. Yeah,
sorry, I actually watched the Montauk Chronicles this past week, and in there are some obviously pictures and scenes of that place, as well as in your book, right? There's some really, when I say gruesome, I'm not talking about gruesome as in people, but wow, it is really, I would
the place.
imagine,
Yeah,
hellish. Yes, absolutely. Well, I know that we did speak about this last week as well to a point, but maybe today, since it is the anniversary, would you mind to take us through what happened with you on the 12th of August 1983 at Campiero when you were in the Montauk project, and of course, being Duncan Cameron, the infamous Duncan Cameron. And you can possibly talk us through that again if you don't mind.
yeah, sure. First I want to say that because like the Preston Nichols like had the brilliant idea because he met a guy that was called Duncan Cameron and make him pass for me. That's debunked because the guy was like 30 something years old, like in 83. Like there were no like 30 something years old in the cage with us. Anyway. So
Right.
yeah, the only thing he had was the real name Duncan Cameron, and like that was an Eddie house that I was using there in case I was like getting interrogated. So we all had like other names to use there. So um yeah, that place was all kids. In my case, I was 8 years old. My buddy Steve was 8 years old too. Stuart was a bit older. Michelle was my age too. Uh, yeah, pretty much all like 8, 9, 10, 11 maybe. That was the age that like kids were brought there and like that I saw, like the kids that I saw there. So yeah, and like we were drug put in cages, no bed, just in underwear. The floors were porous concrete, full of blood and water, from like kids being uh, beaten like for 10 years in those cages and passing through there. Nobody was washing this, like just the only thing washing it was us when we're done being waterboarded and thrown back in the cage, like all wet. That was cleaning it, like a bit the blood there, but yeah, so the smell of blood in that place was really overwhelming. Uh,
Wow.
the metallic taste, yeah, and it was super dark, like in the cage section, um, like in a tunnel echoing sound kind of thing, because you were always hearing a kid like whining or being beat or raped or the sound was just like calling through the tunnel
Yeah.
so
Just
like we
carrying
were
it.
always hearing and sometimes we were falling asleep because we were so drugged, eh? And they were like just opening the cage and like kicking us to see if we were still alive or so yeah, and somebody was walking with a mask in the hallway and scaring us and yeah, military guys like were sometimes raping some of the kids and yeah, that's what we went through. That's the
Wow. It's such, again, it just highlights, what you're saying is, these cages, and interesting because as you're speaking about that, in fact, one of my other guests, Holly Baglio, who I spoke to on Friday, was also part of the Montauk project, and she had 169 altars, and they couldn't all write or read or whatever, but they could draw. So she drew actually quite a few pictures and also drew the cages exactly as you explained it. And also, sort of, every second one would be occupied in these cages. And then some of the kids were dead. They were
Yeah.
certainly, and a lot of blood, a lot of trauma, a lot of screaming and shouting, and as you say, being drugged as well. So yeah. So was what happened on that particular day then? Was that the same day that the 12th of August? What made that day so different from the
Uh,
other experiences you had there?
that day was like, well, I didn't know if my partner Steve was like still alive or dead because like we had this kid that was hanging in a cage in front of us, like a staggered kind of thing, but right on the corner, and like he was hanging by the foot and draining in a pan, and like was trying to talk to Steve, and like calling him Pedro de Montoya because like we had those names to use there, like. Yeah, he wasn't even moving or giving any signs of life. At some point, I even tried Steve, just no sign of life. Like, I really didn't know if he was dead, and like I didn't know if I was gonna be killed too. Like that day, they brought also a pig. I don't know how they got him inside. But like they brought him in the cage area, and like they started butchering, but slowly, so that he would squeal. But like like when you're a kid and you're in pitch dark, and you hear this, like and like a big squeal, like in the tunneling sound, like yeah, like
And wow,
the ultimate.
that is horrific because I'm also thinking that you guys were on LSD or something or whatever
Yeah,
drug they drugged you. So
yeah,
already you are
massive
tripping.
drugs.
They've beaten you almost to a pulp. You've just been waterboarded at this point, right? You don't
Yeah,
know whether your friend is alive or dead. You're seeing another kid hanging with a 1 foot, blood draining out of him. Obviously,
yeah,
he'd been killed. Um, and now they bring a pig in the pitch black dark, and they're
yeah.
butchering the pig
And
slowly.
like that, and he's squealing. The pig was just squealing, like there's ways to, and there's ways to like go slowly. Well, we were drug on massive drugs of LSD, and it wasn't to like have a buzz of like cool, like like in the acid house, because like usually I was going through the acid house first and brought directly to the chair. But yeah, that time it wasn't like to have like a nice buzz and check tired eyes. It was the ultimate bad buzz. Like they were coming to scare us, and uh, yeah, yeah, everything that happened there is crazy. Like so yeah, like that's the 42 years ago. So that's it. Yeah,
So that was that the run up to the chair. So you were first beaten, tortured, heavily drugged,
yeah.
having a pig butchered in the pitch
Yeah, and we
black
were
darks.
starved, like they were feeding us while we were there. Like it was like were just like kept in like dogs, like in a cage, like a kennel of
Was it?
kids, like like
Yeah,
so.
insane, honestly. So, at what point then did they take you to the chair?
They came and got me at some point, and okay, I'm gonna go do the chair, and after it's done, nobody will hurt you, blah 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 blah, and like they brought me to the chair, got me out of the cage, brought me to the chair, we walked like in the tunnel, like the section to go up to the building where the chair was. Um, I remember the chair was super cold, and like, oh, I forgot. The other guy forgot to plug the chair warmer, and he was fucking with me. He didn't he didn't care. They brought me a little like hospital game to have a bit material between me and the chair because it was a stainless chair. So yeah, and Preston started to putting the hat, and that time the hat wasn't the same because usually it was a white cap that they were like a cotton type, and that the last time was a screen kind, like and like same thing, that's what Preston was saying, because like they didn't have any more of the other ones, so yeah, it was doing the same thing and all, and Jack was telling me that the mask I was breathing in, like the vapor, was the ghost orchid flower that they just discovered in the Everglades in the 80s. Um, talking about the lotus, the white lotus he had in his hand, like saying it was used since ancient rituals in Egypt. Uh, yeah, just like trying to calm me down from like the hell place that I just live in. I had like what, like I don't know how many meters of tunnels to go to the chair to like cool down, calm down. So yeah, he was trying to calm me down to get me to go and go and open my gateway that time. So
Right.
yeah, I went at some point he installed the purple portal in front of me and all, and I went and I did this, and like it was supposed to be guiding me back, and when I woke up, like he wasn't there, I was left by myself on the chair, and that's where that uh, from like the comfort of like when you're doing astral projection, you're light, you don't feel nothing, to like coming back and waking up and the goriest part of hell, yeah, I had the reflex of thinking of my home, like my little ritual home, my my glowing my sticker album with my glow in the dark stickers, and I'm not sure if it's because I was still hooked up to the chair, but like there's a portal that opened, and they came out one by one. The portal was closing back, and after it was reopening, another one was coming out, was closing back, and they all each took their direction, and yeah, they killed staff, like they destroyed the place, the place was shut down, is shut down since. They abandoned it. They capped
Yeah.
all those tunnels, like the entrance to go in those tunnels and all. Kind of they sealed everything. So and like they never put back the power on. Like they were trying to stop, because they didn't know how many monsters were gonna come out, and they were trying to stop the power to the chair and all, and was just not working with the breakers, so they had to cut the main lines of power to the building with torches, and uh, yeah.
I actually, in the Montauk Chronicles, and I think I'm going to post the link For those who want to watch that, I highly recommend. Um, it actually They actually interviewed Preston Nichols as well as Al Buick, who was involved with that as well. And then they actually speak, and Stuart Swerdlow is being interviewed quite a lot in that documentary. And he actually was one of the guys that was with you that day, right? In the cage as well. And he speaks about Duncan Cameron. And of course, we know now that you obviously were not using your proper names. You
No?
guys were given code names to call each other, and your code name was Duncan Cameron.
Yeah.
So a few of the guys, other than the ones who were maybe your neighbors or something, actually knew your name. You guys were
Yeah.
kept apart from each other. Like in the swimming pool and stuff, your parents always had to keep you apart. You weren't allowed to talk about many things to friends. So that's already when they started training. So your code name was Duncan Cameron. So I know, and then in that documentary, you actually see what happens that day with Preston Nichols being interviewed as well on the events of that day. And Stuart Swerdlow said something quite interesting as well. It was um, because you obviously had the psychic powers, and as you explained in your past interview, whenever it came to any tests and things you had to do, you were always winning, and that's what got you to Montauk, right? Because it's kind of like, I guess, the best of the best in these areas. So then, but they were kind of used to boost you as well, psychically, the other kids. How would you explain that actually?
There were a second chair that was not like with the long legs, and they were installing other kids on it, and that's like the two chair that I know that were there, and yeah, it was probably 50 feet from the other one, like in another little kind of in the basement, like there were like kind of a division, like columns that were like, and so let's call this a room kind of thing, yeah, that was and
Wow.
like the Montauk chair, the long one with the long legs, like this was probably 30 feet from the elevator. Like
And the Montauk chair is what you were saying as well. That's the chair that they recovered from the Roswell
yeah,
crash.
yeah.
And when you sit in it, literally, you kind of get superpowers. You literally pick up the memories of the person
Mm.
and those who've sat. How did you find that chair?
Well, they brought me there because I did the water deprivation test, and did like astral projection, got 2 words, and that's why I was sent to like the Montauk chair, and yeah, yeah, I guess I had like a lot of in tune for psychic abilities, that's why like they were using me to go there, and yeah, I was focused to like succeed in this project, and I really wanted to be a spy, and yeah, so I was applying myself, and yeah, so
Wow. So that was the motivation to be the
yeah,
James Bond. Yeah.
yeah, like a $6 million man.
Yeah.
Like
We're the,
and like $6 million man was going to the NASA to do some tests too. Like I think it was just like like kind of a brainwashing tool used to for the yeah
totally.
those shows and stuff
Manipulation.
yeah, when you think about
Wow.
everything I'm at my age with the luggage I have, the experience, the background of it, yeah, like I realized that those shows were probably just to use as
Grooming.
brainwashing tools, like manipulation tools, like population control. So,
No, totally. So when all of this starts happening, because now we know when you started opening the portals, the monsters from your sticker collection literally started coming in, manifesting,
yeah,
and they literally had to go down. When you look at the chronicles, Preston Nichols was basically sent down at gunpoint to go and switch off that power machine, so that these things would stop coming out. In your recollection, since you've obviously been recovering your memories, at what point did you come to then? Did you wake up immediately when all the chaos was going on? Were you woken up? Um, and I know that Preston Nichols also had something to say to you, or your handler then. So how was that for you? At what point did you sort of come to and get the hell out of there?
well, when I woke up from the astral projection, like I was kind of like, like waking up and passing, like from the drugs and all, and like just trying to like stay awake, and this happened, like the portal and like the monsters. So like I was so bright, from the dark place, everything was lighting up in the place. Um so like I was like kind of like waking up every time they were like and like as soon as they were going, and I was kind of like refading. um yeah, like uh, that was like the alarm was the full blast, like yeah, like that's
So when you got back after that, obviously that was a big deal, and I know, again, referring to the last interview, you went back home, your mom nearly had a fit because you hadn't had time to heal, where usually you would take at least a week or so to heal up before they would bring you back to your parents, so they wouldn't know that something untoward had gone on, right? So, did things slow down after that for you? Did they start maybe doing less and less stuff with you guys then? Did that give them a bit of a fright, I guess, or a shock, is what I'm
yeah,
asking.
they were nicer with me, kind of thing. After, like, like the brutality of that didn't happen anymore, like kind of thing, like it was more like psychic and like stuff like that, and a bit of SRA like mixed through this, like there were a period after that, like yeah, like it was, they had the trick for mixing, like from the bad to the good. They sent me to Disney another time after that. um yeah, like they were, you never knew what to expect, like the way they were doing this, you didn't know what was coming, like
Right,
could be like something nice, could be but you always had to be like on the same, like ready for whatever. So
right.
yeah,
So if we fast forward a couple of years, I know you had, I'm not sure if you got married, but I know you had two daughters. You
yeah,
had
a
children,
boy and a boy and a girl, yeah, yeah,
right? Sorry, a boy and a girl. And then
yeah.
I do believe, I think you said it was 2015 that you started getting your memories back. When did you say that your
uh
memories
the
started surfing?
2010, 2010.
2010, right.
Yeah,
So your memories started surfacing then, and that's when the problems, I'm sure, started
yeah,
in a
because
major
like
way for you.
I went and asked my mom about the that test at the Allen Memorial that they did. Like, I had a bunch of needles on my head, and like they were keeping my eyes open and putting drops. And like I remember, like there were like a bunch of image of my brain, kind of like a different image on a billboard, like for X-ray kind of thing. And yeah, they were like my eyes were forced open. It was just like brutally painful, like for a kid. Like that's yeah. And that was done at the Allen Memorial. And I asked my mom, like, "Hey, Mom, what was that test? Like, like, cause I was starting to remember. So like, her job was like to check and like let the handlers know if like like I was waking up or if I was talking about stuff or so I think she did it because like there's no like time delay or like it's a lifetime thing with them, eh? So uh from that point my life started turning into chaos. They were like creating trouble everywhere, like in every aspect of my life, every like angle they could use to like make trouble to set me up. And like they all set us up, me and my buddies that year. They all set us up. We all got arrested like for like crazy charges. And yeah, like that was yeah, we they tried to kill us. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, you've explained that quite in depth in your book, um, which is quite scary. The lengths to which the
Yeah.
government will go to protect their
Yeah.
evil. Honestly, um, but you've also had some interesting experiences. I think what's common with guys like yourself as well who've been through these things, atrocities, you'll often get sent honeypots, the honeypot being a woman, right? That's
Yeah.
there to pretty much handle you, I guess. Would
Yeah, from
she?
when I got out of jail, like she was like uh linked to me on a web on a like dating site that they own. And like well, I figured I not I figured she told me like later on like when she was at the edge of the wall and had no choice. But so yeah, like they organized this, they placed her with me like just to like um
But this, hang on, this wasn't
recontrol
the.
me, reprogram me. Like she was talking to me at night and like repeating the same things, trying to like program me like and at some point I woke up, hey, what the fuck are you doing? You're trying to hypnotize me or what? Like, like so yeah, like she was my handler kind of thing for those years and like yeah.
But that wasn't the mother of your children, right?
No, no, that was like right when I got out of jail after being uh, killed and reanimated and like doing the time in jail and all. Like they erased my memory and all. So like I was restarting back from yeah,
And then didn't they also get your ex-partner to trump up domestic violence
yeah,
charges against you?
yeah, yeah. I got this on like recorded like because I'm still friendly with her. Like as soon as I got arrested, okay, like they tried to put more violence charge against me to send me away for good. So they went and saw her, like they had like a paper already like prepared. They wanted her to sign, and like if she wasn't signing, they were taking her daughter away. So like she didn't have no choice really, like and that's what she says on that 20 minute tape that like she did for me, like after when I got out, like yeah, like they really forced her to. sign what they had written there, and like just to put more violence charge, because like I was there for like home invasion, because like I went and to a place where somebody stole my, because they organized to get $50,000 of tools stolen from my shop, like when I was doing the moving and all, and like I found out who it was, so I went there and like I hit the guy with the like brass knuckle, and he got like a permanent lesion, like kind of retarded. So yeah, like I was charged with attempted murder and like home invasion because I kicked the door in, and like they're not considering like the guy just told me 50 grand, and like so yeah, like uh, and when I got arrested, I had like firearms that were given by them, like by the same people around them. So uh
Were they
yeah.
planting the firearms? Are you saying they were planting the firearms
No, no, they gave
in
me
your
the firearms like just before, because like when they stole my shop, like one
right,
of the guys was like the guys that was like doing some cleaning sometimes, and so like yeah, the
right.
guys, hey, take this just in case, and so yeah, like
Wow.
I was arrested with firearms, like modified firearms, hammers, and like they wanted to give me 15 years if I was pleading guilty, or they wanted 20 years if I was fighting. So yeah,
And what happened with your daughters, your children at this stage? I mean, your daughters. I don't. I mean, I keep saying your daughters,
yeah.
but your
Well, as soon as I
were
got
they
like arrested, they came and got my kids from their mom, like because they were like stable, and like I don't know what happened, but like they both of my kids were like placed in like child prison, like for the time I was in jail. So like they just went and got my kids to play with their brains while I was out, like so because like the Monarch programming is transferring to our kids through our genes, because like it's programmed so deep inside of us that like you know, like sample like a monarch like does a migration pattern from Canada to Mexico and after coming back to Canada. But this migration pattern is done not with one monarch, but with three generations of monarch. Because like so, like it all like for it's like they know how to go through the transfer of the gene, like you know, like genes, like
yes through the
so
genes?
so yeah, like kind of my
Wow.
tortures and all, like so they have probably the same triggers of me as me, and like stuff like that, and like probably just studied my kids for the 2 years I was
That is incredibly shocking, actually, because your children being with their mom. I
yeah,
mean, legally, from what I can see, there was no reason for them to touch your kids. Um, but they then took them from their mom and
yeah,
placed them in a juvenile facility
yeah,
where they were then obviously tampered with for 2 years.
yeah.
God, how does that make you feel?
I'd rather not say it.
I'm sorry, that is just, I mean, to me, it just shows the lengths to which they'll go. And I found it incredibly interesting because that, what you just said about the monarch that starts in Canada and obviously does its New Mexico, wherever,
Yeah,
whatever its route is, right?
yeah,
And it takes
migration.
3 generations and then comes back home. That is absolutely fascinating. That they've obviously, I've always wondered why the monarch, and that,
Yeah,
of course,
explains a
is
lot.
it explains a lot, absolutely. But then the question I have is that obviously, even if we're looking at our previous interview that we did, for sure they had their eye on you. There's not even a question in my mind that they had their eye on you from even before the kids, or the job fair. Um, would there have been anyone else in your family, like your mum or your dad, where they would have tracked you, or were they involved or have any experiences like this? Like the monarch, right? You see, it's like that
Mm.
couple of generations that I'm just interested to know, because it would seem from your situation that there wasn't familial or family abuse, that this came
Mm.
from the CIA operations exclusively. But I'd be
Yeah.
interested if they were able to track your own parents somewhere along the line.
I think like they probably are tracking kids from like their first like blood type uh, shots like at the hospital when they are born. Like they have access to all those like and they're looking for certain like blood types or certain genetics and like like certain like points probably and to look on a kid and like when a kid has all those different like point like they're being warned or something and they go and like they follow up that kid for and they find a way to get him.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Preston Nichols, um, I'm obviously well aware that you wouldn't have maybe gushing memories of the man, but what do you remember about Preston Nichols? Because his name is synonymous with Montauk programming. And I ask you this actually because, again, watching the Montauk Chronicles, I saw kind of a different side to him. That obviously he was doing these tests on these boys and kids, not just boys. Um, but wasn't really enjoying it. Pretty much forced to do it, basically.
Mm.
What's your take on Preston Nichols, your experience with him, what you remember, and if you have to think about him now, 42 years after Camp Hero, what is your thought about Preston Nichols?
Well, I heard from like other people that like he was like kind of a pedophile, but like in my case, like nothing happened. He was really there to like set up the chair and look at the monitors like while I was on the chair and like set up all the things on me and like he was really a technician like in my case like really just like for the chair and uh, like every time I was going there, like my memory was wiped, like from Montauk. But that like I remember like a bunch of times because like we were talking while he was all setting up the stuff. But like the time I remember him the most was when he ran after us, after me in the flea market, maybe a year after the project, and like starting to like explaining to my dad like how bad this project was and like he was happy that like it was shut down and like how special I was and like he invited us to like a psychotronic event that he was organizing at his place like it was 5 hours away from where we were so like we didn't go yeah, like he talked to my dad for a while, like saying like, so it wasn't just all bad, like for like talking to a parent like that and saying what was going on there, and like and like that he released my story, like, because to release my story is really something hard to do. He had to like somehow like put sci-fi and modify it and all, because like like you don't release stuff like that usually from the CIA, and I think at some point maybe like he did this for me to see it later, or like I don't know, like like
Yeah, I fully agree with that because I
so,
think,
because like the Montauk Chronicle was so uh close, like like that shocking to see this, like and you even see like a flash, maybe a glimpse of like 2 seconds of the real monsters, because but like they didn't really like, they just see like they show the werewolf and like I don't know which one, but those were the real monsters that came out, like, and you had to be there to know this, like
yeah,
Mhm.
absolutely.
So yeah, and the description, like how he guided like Christopher Gaetano to reproduce, like like the scene of the monsters, like the the people of light, like uh, yeah, like like Montauk Chronicle did an amazing job, like Christopher Gaetano, like reproducing the scene for not being there, just by like Preston's like. Uh, Maybe Stewart, like I also like told a bit about the, because like was there too. So yeah, that's they did an amazing job. Like I wasn't shocked. Like, and Christopher Gaetano helped me. Like he's the first interview I did actually, like to come out. Like my story and all. Like he's a super nice guy. Like, he's working hard. He knows Montauk. Like. He studied 20 years on this. Like he's been working 20 years exposing this, and so like he's a good guy, like on the good side. So yeah,
Yeah, yeah, it's amazing. Wow. So Preston Nichols, you would say, is not all bad.
not all bad,
Kind
not
of
all
good
good
guy.
either, but
Yeah,
like I think like a bit like the parents that were like getting to like inscribe their kids, like they were misled at the beginning, and after it's blackmailing, and like like they make you participate and blah 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 in certain stuff, and like at some point you can't even like it's well-tuned machine to like get people. It's like a snowball effect, like that grabs everything on it, like it's yeah, that's how
yeah,
they, and people get like stuck into this, like like we're talking CIA here. It's not like like golfers, like like,
yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah, I mean it's deep. So these guys are quite well entrenched. I mean, I would imagine that for him to, because I think somewhere in the documentary as well, he says I was actually quite mad at him at one point because he says um, he did it because he didn't pretty much want to die, right? If they asked him again, would he do it again? He said yes because he learned a lot. Um, but I question at what expense, you know? I have no doubt that it must have been difficult for him as well because you could see when he's having the interview that his conscience is really getting to him at some points.
yeah,
Um, but nonetheless, he did it. So, with the conscience, at least he has a conscience. And at least, as you said, he brought it out. And at least, if that was the purpose, to have you see it, after all
Yeah,
these years, because he would have been smart enough as well to know that those memories could be awoken and could be triggered again. And if you guys, all of you that were involved in this, can literally share this with the world, I think that's mission accomplished with Preston Nichols. I don't know, what's
yeah,
your take? How do you feel about him nowadays, 42
yeah,
years after? Do you
yeah.
still feel triggered by these events, or have you kind of made peace with what's gone down?
Well, I think a big part of the healing is to talk about it, and it helps. Like, at the beginning, I was talking about this, and I was crying, and hard, some memories, because I lost people in this, and so yeah, but at some point, gets easier to talk about it, and at some point, it's it's not to heal myself, but prevent this to others, and uh, avoid this to kids, and like teach the new generations of parents, check your kids, go and check at school, those days out, in go a surprise visit, and check for those, there's tons of little details that they use in a pattern way, it's they they don't differ that much in those techniques, there's upgrades and all, but something similar, once you read this and you have all those facts, you know what to check for, and I think a lot of kids will be avoiding this because of my book, and hopefully a lot of parents, and because for me it's too late to I won't change. I went there, I won't stop it from happening to me, but for little kids that are innocent, and you know they deserve to play outside, and be
Yeah,
free, not be played in their brain and brainwash and use, and
exactly.
abuse, and torture, and some case killed. It's just, uh, yeah, uh, people have to wake up to the evil surrounding us, and yeah, yeah, that's what I my genuine goal is to help those kids, because that's the government, that's the people in charge in the hospitals, that's so it's kind of a hard machine to stop, but knowledge will stop the machine.
Right,
The tool is that my story is so popular because they went and used my story, eh? So my tool, my story is the key to educate a billion people. And
right.
this billion people, if they talk, and like it's gonna be hard for them to do this with kids. It's gonna be hard, because yeah, knowledge is power, and I'm giving the power like that, to people to check their kids.
Wake up.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
exactly. Exactly.
because
Take care of your kids.
this is done through a regular family, through regular schools, and uh like the way they do this, there's little signs, I'm talking in my book, but it's all easy to flare once you know those things, but you gotta have somebody that went through it, and tells you not real facts, not bullshit, and that's why I'm anything that's in my book, I'm ready to be interrogated on a lie detector, on a live show, it's it's all facts,
Right.
And people will
Absolutely.
think, oh, that's hey, it's not even the tip of the iceberg. Like, so yeah, like I'm just cutting the bullshit and like saying the truth how it was. And in my case, like some people may not have been the same way and all, like, but in my case, that's how it was done. And like my case and my friends, and like I have a bunch of friends that are still alive from the project. So like I'm not the only one that had that way. Like, so yeah.
Yeah, I think that's you mentioned that in your book as well. You know, that there's actually thankfully quite a few of you that actually are still friends
Oh
and
yeah.
remember, you know, and that's amazing that you can actually remember together. And some of you have different memories, and well, not
Yeah.
different, but
Yeah, like
different memories surfacing at different times. That's I think
yeah,
what I'm saying.
yeah, different like details from the same events, and like yeah, like
Details, yes.
yeah. So that's
Wow,
great. Like yeah, we're all linked, like for sure. Like
absolutely. I just find it amazing, honestly, that as you say, it's becoming so clear that we are linked, and it's just this awakening process, you know, and it's like Preston Nichols, you know, just talking about that again in such a roundabout way, having done us such a favor, because I think, you know, this whole Stranger Things has been a topic on so many people's tongues for so long, because what they've done as well is they've told different people that have been MK Ultra, you know, you are this and it's inspired, but whatever, you know, there's quite a few survivors, and I'm certainly not discrediting anyone's testimony. I just want to say that, but I am saying is that I think part of the manipulation is also planting and making some of the survivors believe certain things, right? Because memories can be planted. I think if anyone knows that, you do. Talk
yeah,
to us about that, actually, a little bit about pretty much what
yeah,
you're experiencing now and how the memories can, or false memories can be planted,
yeah.
especially
Through
when we're looking
hypnose.
at Montauk. Explain that to me, to us, please, Chris.
Yeah, like there's a machine that they use to like erase our memory, like that's like giving our shock to our temples. And like after this, they talk to us under hypnose and like tell put like a frame of thought. Like you know, in my case, like I had the nicest childhood. Like I went twice to Disney. Like uh, I couldn't remember anything that was important. Uh, but like they didn't specify if it was like for CIA stuff or life or you know. So like I was having issues with that. So like they don't have like just competent people. They have like idiot that does like you know like uh, the hypnose and the programming. So like a lot of people are fucked up by those idiots, I think, because in my life I was forgetting everything like till I got that regression hypnose done and like those hypnotic suggestions and like blockage remove and like so yeah, like that changed my life, like my life quality, because like yeah, I had issues like after I got killed and reanimated and all and restarting and like yeah, like anything important I was forgetting. So
Right. Wow. And do you find that's starting to become more stable, more
yeah,
normalized for you now as you
yeah,
obviously progress in
yeah,
kind of repatterning your energy?
yeah, and like the fact that like those blockage and like hypnotic suggestion got removed under hypnose. Now like it's easy for me to yeah.
One of the things that are interesting, and I actually wanted to ask you, also going back to your book, And I think you started speaking about the girl on the dating site. But maybe you want to, and if it's the same one that was actually poisoning you,
Yep.
maybe you can just talk about that as one of, just to share as that experience in your life, as well as to how these controllers just don't stop. The lengths to which they will go to try and take you out. So,
Uh,
can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, like they set me up with this girl that was like literally like another MK Ultra that was yeah, to like kind of watch over me, be my handler, and like program me, and like so and like when I was freshly like memory wipe and all, like like before that, like I was talking like a lawyer. Now I'm hesitating, I'm jamming, like since it's way less than it was like at the beginning, like. But like I still have trouble like in my elocution and like I'm looking for my words. And that wasn't the case before. Like I was like a lawyer, like and yeah, like that damaged me a lot. Like like the killing and like so
Yeah.
yeah, like I do my best, but uh, sometimes like fuck. So imagine like and at the beginning like I was like almost blind because my eyes were like kind of like I don't know how long I was dead. So like I had trouble seeing like big numbers like close to me. Like like I couldn't like it was all like looking through 10 bottles of glass. So yeah, it came back slowly and like like now I'm less jamming, but I'm still jamming a lot like compared to what I was. But yeah, like. I have no choice to readapt and but like yeah, so I was at that point and like they hooked me up with this chick and like you're naive and when you're like freshly like memory wiped and all and so yeah and like I give so much like detail of that relationship because like that's like kind of my new life from when I was like reanimated and all and like got out of jail and starting back from zero like because like before that like I was doing well in life um yeah like that's a honeypot like you say like just to handle me to program me and like at some point like they wanted to like get rid of me so like they were making her poison me and like stuff like that and at some point like she kind of like she probably got like somebody that was like dumb and hypnose. And yeah, like they tried to tell her to like kill me and after kill herself. And like she was like, and that's where she started talking to me and all. And so that's where I learned that like it was the same people that hook us together. And yeah. So wow. What a shock to really learn all this and crazy story, but that's the truth. Like like
So, is it safe to say you have trust issues?
yeah, yeah, quite a little bit. No, but I'm still not a dick with that. But
A few trust issues.
yeah, like yeah, I want to test my people around me, and I'm fucking like testing people like weird ways. I got my own ways, but yeah, like yeah, uh, I test my people
Wow.
now.
Well, Chris, I want to say again, thank you so much, and I'm going to leave it there for today. And what I'd love for us to do in future, if you're open to it, is talk also about your path to recovery,
Yeah.
how that's been for you, and
Like tips
adjusting
to other
to.
people, like to how to deal with those memories. Like, 'cause, like when you take too much at a time, like it gets overwhelming on your life. Like as much as you're a strong person and all, like yeah, you got to take like one bite at a time and like chew it
Absolutely,
and like you know, it's kind of so. But yeah, like I talk a bit about that in my book
absolutely.
because like people can go to far extent like when they realize all this that they've been lied to all their life and so like it's yeah you gotta
That's a tough walk back. And I
Mhm.
know one of the things that we spoke about as well is obviously your mom signed you up for this program.
Yeah,
And just to be very clear, to the viewers out there, because we often get questions like this, it was not done nefariously. The CIA pretty much, I mean, it was people that Chris, your mom, knew, and you'd been on a kids um, sort of a job. What was
yeah,
it?
like
A career
career.
exhibition. Yeah,
Mhm.
and they little 6-year-old boys who wanted to be spies, and CIA spies and James Bond, of course, are going to go there, and well, they just get signed up, and of course, Mum agrees to do it. And I know back then, especially from the 60s, there was a lot of stories that people actually signed themselves up, and I'm talking more adults as well,
Yeah,
adult people and being paid for it. And I think in your situation as well, you were being paid, but unfortunately, I know there was a deception thing going on with your mum around that, which
yeah,
I know you mentioned in your book as well. So the money that was actually due to come to you after all these years, because they were clever enough to pay, right?
yeah.
But it didn't come to you, right? Is
No,
that correct?
I, I never saw the money. Like I never got anything but troubles from that and like attempt on my life and like like I had like a Jeep shop like you know like with a huge inventory and all like I started selling franchise like the business was probably worth around like 15 million with my inventory when I got like all set up and they stole everything like you know and that's like stuff that I worked for like you know that I worked hard and like I was working hard for that and you know they took everything from me and even like the capacity to work for how many years you know like by handicapping me like that and jamming and like so like you know I'm coming back from far to expose this you know and like they made me pass for crazy on the news like you know but like I got everything to prove what I'm saying like you know like I got and witnesses for the long of my life too like you know it's and like how many witnesses from the project and so like yeah like they didn't expect me to come back from deep down there so yeah
No, I don't think they did, and we're very grateful
yeah
that you've come back. So thank you for your story. And what I'd like to just say is that 12th of August. So we have for our viewers an amazing giveaway. We are donating, Ara is donating 6 copies of your book, Terror at Montauk, to 6 awesome viewers, and you are donating another 6 copies to another 6 awesome viewers. So in total, guys, we have 12 copies of Chris's book, Terror at Montauk. So please email me, first come, first serve, right?
yeah
And we will send you the link. And then, of course, Chris has also agreed to anyone else who wants to purchase a copy of his book, 20% off, which is amazing. Just use the code ARA, A-R-A, and you'll get 20% off Chris's amazing book. And I want to highly recommend that you get yourself a copy because it's not just the words for me. It's obviously the words that you read, but for me, it's like I think all of us on some level have known that these atrocities have been going on. We might not have been involved. I mean, I look at myself, I'm a farm child, seriously innocent, never had, I mean, my parents adored us, we adored them, um, played and was cheeky, and my life was idyllic actually compared to so many others. It was not problem free, but it's like, just to go back to, sorry, what I was saying earlier on, it's like there are so many of us in this world who understand and who have not had issues like this. We can support, we can understand, we can, but never really get to know what you've been through. And when we see these things, and that's what I'm trying to say, because it's difficult for me to find the words right now. When I read these things, it's like something starts opening up in one's cells. We start also remembering that we know, because actually we do, right?
Yeah.
We are all so connected. Not one of us doesn't know. We need to be reminded. And that's what I love about reading your book. It not just opened my eyes to so much, but it's the cellular opening, the reminding. And then again, it leads us to other things, to other books, to other podcasts, to other survivors. And then we see how the dots all connect. So thank you for the time and the energy and everything that you've put into sharing your story. And I'm very, very happy that you're alive, Duncan Cameron, and that you are
Yeah.
telling us, what's been going on. And I highly recommend that you guys also watch that, uh, what's it called,
The
Montauk
Montauk
Chronicles.
Chronicles. Yeah, to have a visual a bit of what it was like because they really did a good representation on a movie because like for what they can show on a movie and all like Christopher Gaetano did an amazing job and yeah like the team from like the Montauk Chronicle like yeah they did something nice shocking to see and especially like in my case I saw this 39 years day for day after on the anniversary so 3 years ago yeah and that's part of the magic of why would I see this on the anniversary 39 days 39 years day for day after you know so yeah that's yeah
Well, I'm very happy we're airing it 42 years afterwards.
yeah
426. Six is a
yeah
good number.
yeah yeah
It's a very good number. So thank you for that. And is there anything you'd like to just say to our viewers
uh,
before, just to wrap up any? And I know you're also doing some other shows. So do you want to tell us what other shows that you're on and that where the viewers can catch you?
yeah I got a bunch that are on my website, terror@montauk.com. And like the book is also available there, the pre-release there. So terror@montauk.com. And yeah, there's a bunch of interviews there. Like I got a few coming up too. And yeah, all the
What do you,
updates
so
are
I see
there.
you. I see you got one on the 17th of August, and I know that date because
Yeah,
that's my mother's birthday.
yeah,
So I know you go on your Facebook page, so I've seen that as well. Okay, but
yeah,
guys, get hold of Terra at Montauk.com. That's Christian's website. Copy of his book there. Use the code ARA, ARA, to get 20% off. And the first 12 people, send me an email and you will get a giveaway of Chris's book, which is really amazing. Opened my eyes a lot. So again,
yeah.
Chris, thank you so much. Really, really, really
Thanks.
appreciate you speaking with us. We're going to have you back. We're going to be doing
Yeah,
other things with you as well. We were thinking about
sure.
doing like actually one of those things might be good to do, like maybe documentaries or movies or something with this stuff and watch it on Patreon, and then the guests, well, the viewers, not the
Yeah,
guests, can actually ask questions. So I thought that the Montauk Chronicles might be a nice one. What do you think about that?
yeah, I think that's like one of the best because there's so many little details that are gathered in one, like in a 2 hour, like documentary movie like that.
Right.
Like that helps a lot of people to trigger memories, like in my case, it was like really like awesome, like awesome, rough, but like I have no regrets of like, yeah, like I'm happy to. And sometimes I
Well, we're
wonder
going
if
to be.
it's not Preston that knew all this and that organized this from like when this happened. Like it's that far. So like there, because there's a kind of magic to it. Like
Totally,
yeah,
totally. I mean, we must never forget as well, and this is what I say a lot. And God knows I can never even speak on behalf of any survivors, so I don't even want to try and pretend. But I do know that our Creator works in very mysterious ways. And if we think that our Creator is going to just allow these guys to annihilate us and just do whatever, that is not true. There are amazing people that have, in my opinion, they are God's spies. So
mhm,
they are operating in these dodgy places because in order to know the dark, you actually have to become the dark. And the purpose is, the trick and the purpose is never to forget who you are beneath all of that. And this, I think, is what I'm loving with survivors like yourself coming out. You guys have never forgotten who you are. And, despite the pain, the suffering, the torture, the abuse, I can't even imagine. But yeah, you are sharing, and you still with the capacity to love and
yeah.
be kind and take care and nurture. So kudos to you all. I really honor you. So thank you.
Thank you. You're a sweetheart. Thanks.
I'm a sweetheart. Yeah. I wish everybody in the world thought that. Thank you, Christian. Okay, guys and girls, take good care of yourselves. And yeah, what can I say? God bless you all. And we will see you very, very soon back with Chris again. Watch the space. These are pre-recorded shows, so we are putting them on Premiere, which is also nice because then we can be in the chats with you too. So take care, everybody. God bless. Goodbye.